Welcome back to another amazing video, and in this video I'm going to show you guys how I manipulated this image. So this was the image originally, and this is after I did the manipulation in Photoshop. So I'm just going to show you guys step-by-step process on how I do it. So let me just delete this layer right here and start from the beginning. So let me just delete it, and I'll come to my capture one and just this is the image right here. So I'm just going to open it in Photoshop again. So I'll click on edit with Photoshop and click edit variant. Now that we have our image in Photoshop, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to crop this image. So I'll come to my crop tool and just set my ratio to 4:5 because I'll be posting it for Instagram. So if you want to post for Instagram, make sure you're using 4:5 to crop your image. So I'm just going to crop it like this and click on OK. And don't worry about the background if it's dark. We are going to change the background. And the next thing I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to select my subject out of the background. So I'll pick my object selection tool and just click on select subject up here. So you can see Photoshop select my subject for me, but Photoshop did not do a really nice job. So I'm just going to manually select those parts that are not selected and just pick my polygonal lasso tool and hold shift to add a particular area. So just click on press on shift on your keyboard and just add a particular area like that. And if you want to minus from an area, just press alternate and just take away from any parts you want to remove, like this part right here. I want to remove them, so I just press alternate, and once that minus icon show, you can see the minus icon. I'm just going to make a selection of where I want to remove. And mind you, this is very important. If you are doing background manipulation or photo manipulation, make sure you always get your selection right and perfect. If not, you're not going to get a good result after you finish manipulating the image. So make sure you always try to get your selection as perfect as possible. That is very important. So I'm just going to select the part which I don't want of this image and leave only the part which I want for this image right now. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So I'm just going to make the selection look perfect. Okay, now I've made my selection and I think it's okay like this for now. I'm still going to refine the adjustment. So after that, I'm just going to add a layer mask by clicking on this layer mask icon right here. So I've successfully removed my background for this image right now, so you can see it's remaining my subject. So the next thing I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to bring the new background into Photoshop. So I have it downloaded here. So I got this thing from Adobe stock, so I'm just going to click and drag it into Photoshop like this. And I'm just going to resize it the way I want to make it look good on the image. And next thing I want to do right now, I'm just going to drag it below my subject, so you can see my subject is above right now. And right now I want to fix my subject. I want to make my subject fit in the chair to make it look realistic. So I'm just going to select my subject layer, click on my transformation tool, click on Ctrl+T, and just move my subject until it fits to the place which I want. I think it fits like this. Okay, I think I like it like this. Just going to take it up a little bit. Okay, and I'll click on OK. Another thing I'm going to do right now, I'm going to come back to the background and just transform it a little bit. Onto my background, click on my transformation tool, click on Ctrl+T, hold shift and just drag it up a little bit like this to stretch it. I think I'm just going to stretch it a little bit like this. Okay, and click on OK. Now the next thing I'm going to do, I'll come back to my subject layer. I want to make sure my subject fits in this chair, so I'm just going to make it fit to look realistic as possible. Okay, I think it's okay like this. Next I'm going to do right now, you can see this place below. It's looking there's an empty layer in this down place right here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to come back to my crop tool and just crop that part out of it like this. So I'm just going to move my crop up like this and just click on enter. Now that is the first part of this manipulation. Now the next thing I'm going to do, if you look at this image, you can see there are white lines on this image. At the edges of the image, you can see there are white lines. So I'm just going to remove those white lines by using my normal brush tool. So just pick your normal brush tool, make sure your foreground color is set to black, and just paint on those lines like that to remove those lines from the edges if you feel your image has those sharp lines on the edges. So that's what I'm going to be doing right now. So I'm just removing those white lines I'm seeing on the edges. So just take your time to remove it. So like I said, selecting your subject is very important when you are doing something like this. It's going to make it look more realistic. Okay, so I've done that. You can see the white lines are no longer there. Next I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to open this layer. So I'm going to double click on it and open it right here. And next I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to click on this smart filter and just come to my smooth and just smooth it. So I want to smooth the edges, so I'll just smooth it. And also I'll just come to my shift edge and I just move it to this -10 like this, just to make the edge look smooth and realistic. So next thing I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to pick this my tool right here, this my refine edge tool, and just paint on these eyebrows right here like this. Okay, and after that I'm just going to click on OK. Now the next thing I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to add shadows to this image to make it look even more realistic. So to add shadows to your image, first of all, create an empty layer. So once I create an empty layer, I'll just drag this empty layer down below my subject layer and I'll just rename it subject shadow. After that, I'm just going to hold Control and click on this my layer mask right here, and it's going to select my subject for me again. After I load my selection, I'm just going to change my foreground color to black and just zoom in and double click on it and pick on any color which I want my shadow to look like. So I want my shadow to look like this part right here, so I'm just going to click on it and it's going to sample that color for me. I'll click on OK. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to press on alternate backspace on my keyboard and Ctrl D to deselect. And once I do that, I've successfully cut out the shadows for this image. So if I click on Ctrl T and just move this one right here, so you can see the shadows on the background. So I've successfully created that shadow on the background. So I'm just going to move it to this side a little bit like this, and I think I like it here like this. I'm just going to right click and click on perspective and just going to play with perspective to see which perspective works better or works best for this image. So I feel this one works better. Okay, after that, next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to blur it. So I come to my filter, come to my blur, come to my Gaussian blur, and I'm just going to blur it to a radius of about, I think 12 works for this image. So I click on OK. So right now, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to create a layer mask and just invert my layer mask by clicking on Ctrl I to invert. So once I invert my layer mask, I'll come to my gradient tool. So I'll pick my gradient tool and change my foregrounds to white. If it's on black, make sure you change it to white and just move it all the way up like this. And I'm going to bring those shadows back, but I don't like it like this. I'm just going to undo that and just take it from all the way up to down like this. Okay, I still don't like it. I'm going to undo that and just take it all the way up to down like this. It's looking good like this, but I still don't like it, so I'm just going to take it all the way down like this. Let's see. Okay, I think I like it like this now. So what I'm going to do next, I'm just going to reduce the opacity. So I'll come to my opacity and just reduce the opacity a little bit to make it look even more realistic, so you can see the before and the after. So you can see we have that realistic shadows. But what I'm going to do now, I want to paint it away from this side. So I'm just going to pick my normal brush tool and just make sure my foreground color is set to black and just paint it away from this part. I don't want it to be on this part right here for now, because I'm going to work on that again. So after that, next I'm going to do again, I'm just going to create another shadow layer. So let me just decrease this opacity a little bit. So just play with your opacity until you feel you have the right opacity that works for the image that you are retouching. So I feel this one works for this image. So this time I'm going to create another shadows layer again. So I'll create a new empty layer, hold Control, click on my selected subject. Once the selection shows again, I'm just going to press on alternate and backspace to bring back the shadows and just click on Ctrl D to deselect and click on my transformation, do Ctrl T to show the transformation. And just what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to move it to this side and move it a little bit down like this. So this time I want to work on this hand right here to make it look even more realistic. So I'm just going to move it to this side like this. Okay, and click on okay. Now next I'm going to do, I'm just going to blur it just the same way we did the first one. I'll go to my filter, come to my blur, come to my Gaussian blur, and just click on okay. Use the same radius I used for the first one. And right now I'm just going to create a new layer mask. Once I create a layer mask, I'm going to invert the layer mask by clicking on Ctrl I to invert. And right now make sure my foreground color is set to white again. Pick my gradient tool and just drag to this side like this until I feel I'm getting that shadow which I want, but I don't like it like this. So I'm going to drag it all the way down like this. I still don't like it like this. I'm just drag it all the way down like this. Okay, I think it's okay like this. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to reduce the saturation, reduce the opacity. Sorry, I'm just going to reduce the opacity like this. So you see we have that shadows right there and it's looking realistic. So just reduce the just play with your opacity until you feel you're okay with it. So I think 60 works for this image. And what I'm going to do again, I'll pick my normal brush tool, make sure my foreground color is set to black, and just remove it from the areas which I don't want it to affect. So I'm just going to remove it from these areas. I don't want it to affect this area, so I'm just going to paint it out like that. So this is the before, this is the after. You can decide to play with the opacity and reduce opacity, just depend on what you like. So you can see we've created our realistic shadows. Now I'm going to create one more shadows for the legs. So we're going to do the same thing, create a new empty layer. So let me just group all the shadows together so you can see. This is the after. You can see the drastic difference. This is the before and this is the after. So if you notice, after doing our shadows, you can see some white places are still showing right here. So to remove that, just come to your layer mask, just pick your normal brush tool. Once your normal brush tool is selected, change your angle to default like that, and just paint on this arc right here to remove them. So you can see before and after. So right now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to add that flowers right here to the image. So to add our flowers, I'll just come to my download, look at the flower right here. I converted it to PNG and I'll just drag it and paste it here like this, and just move it the way I want it. I can choose to resize it or make it bigger, just the way I want. So I'm just going to move it. Okay, I think I like it like this, so I'm going to click on okay. And also I'm going to create shadows for this flower right here, and you know how to create shadows. So the next thing I did for this image, I just added that frame to this image. So to add that frame, I'll just come to my download again. So look at the frame right here, and just click and drag it to the image like this. Just put it up like this and just make it a little bit smaller. Okay, and click on okay. Just change the blend modes to multiply, or you can change it to color dodge, darken color, whichever one you want. So I'm just going to use darken color for this one. And right now I'm just going to go to the images which I want to add. Just copy the image by clicking on Ctrl C and paste it right here, and just transform the image, make it smaller, and just make it fit to the frame. That's what I'm going to be doing. Okay, so I change the blend mode to darken color, change the blend mode to darken color, change the blend modes to darken color. You can set to leave your blend mode on normal, it depends on what you want. So I'm just going to group them by clicking on Ctrl G and just group them, and you can see this is the before, this is the after, the before and the after. And for the frame, I'm still going to add shadows to the frame. So let's quickly see before and after. So this is the before, this is the after. So next I'm going to do that, I'm just going to add one more object to this image. So I'll just come to this palm tree right here. So I'm just going to click and drag it into Photoshop like this, and I'm just going to rotate it, take it up, make it a little bit smaller, still rotate it until I feel it's okay. So right now I feel it's okay like this, so I'm just going to click on okay. So I'll just move it up like this to make it more visible. And I'm still going to add shadows to this palm tree to make it look more realistic. So to add shadows, create a new layer. So let's see our before and after what we just did. So this is where we started from, and this is where we are right now. So I'm going to do right now, I'm going to make the colors of the image match. I'm just going to blend the whole colors of the image to make them match. So to do that, I'm just going to create a stamp visible layer. And before you create a stamp visible layer, make sure you are okay with your manipulation. Make sure you don't want to change anything again. Make sure you are okay with it. Then you create a stamp visible layer by clicking on Ctrl Shift Alternate E, and I'll just come to my adjustment layer. I'll come to my curves. For this my curves, I'm just going to click on this my curves adjustment. Make sure it's curve selected and not the layer mask. Make sure the curves is selected. Hold alternate and click on your auto right here. So after that, it's going to show you this option right here, so you can choose any one you want to use. So if I click on this one, you can see it's trying to blend the whole image. So if I click on this one, you can see it's trying to blend the whole image to look alike. So if I click on this one, you can see it's trying to blend the whole image to look alike. So I think I'm just going to use this find light and dark color. I think it's okay. I'm just going to click on OK. So these are before and these are after. You can see the image is looking even right now. So the next thing I'm going to do to even make it look even more realistic, I'm just going to come to my layer and come to my filter and convert for smart filter, and then I'll come to my filter again and click on camera filter. So once I'm in my camera filter, I'll first of all come to my preset right here. So I'm going to be using camera inbuilt preset, and I'll just come to cinematic color grading. I think this cinematic tool right here, and just click on this 16. I think I use this 16 for this image, so I'll click on this 16, and after that I'll come all the way down. I'll come to vignettes and just choose light, this one right here. So once I click on it, I'll come back to my edit, then I'll come to my effect, I'll come to my grains and just add a little bit of noise to this image. I think 14 works for me for this image, and I'm going to click on OK. Okay, now this is the before and this is the after. You can see the whole image is blended together right now. So this is before and this is the after. Come to my curves, make a point right here, make another point right here, and just drag this shadow area up a little bit to add that faded look to this image like this. Okay, so I think I like it like this. So that's all I did for this image, and let's see our before and after. This is the before and this is the after. So guys, I hope you learned something for this video. If you do, make sure to give this video a like so more people can see this video and learn from this video as well. I'll see you guys in my next video. Stay creative.